Hello and welcome to Clearview News Desk. We're reaching you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. I am Florence Joshua. Welcome. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has commenced a working vacation in Europe as part of his 2025 annual leave. The president's spokesman, Bayo Onanuga, made this known in a Thursday statement. According to him, the vacation will last 10 working days. He explained that Tinubu will spend the period between France and the United Kingdom before returning to the country. This is coming barely 2 weeks after the president returned from Brazil. Abuja was thrown into chaos after a fatal accident in Mapushi spiraled into mob justice, leaving suspected Agberus beaten and set ablaze on Wednesday. The incident has once again raised a pressing question: who will save the FCT from the menace of Agberus, thugs who now appear out of control of security agencies? The report. The tragedy began when a family lost their lives after a tout, otherwise known as Agbero, allegedly forced his way into their car and dragged the steering wheel while the driver was still in motion. The car reportedly crashed, killed the occupant instantly, leading to clashes between Agberos and enraged bystanders, which led to the lynching and setting ablaze of some persons. Despite the prolonged altercation, the FCT police were nowhere to be found. It is rather disturbing that Agberos, often referred to as area boys, operate openly at parks and bus stops in Abuja without any form of restriction, extorting commercial drivers, private car owners, and even passengers, often in full view of law enforcement agents who rarely intervene. They always demand money from people, whether you are carrying passengers or just dropping someone, one resident said. This couple had only stopped briefly at Mabushi Park when a thief forced himself into the car, dragging the steering, leading to the death of a family. Videos circulating online show angry residents lamenting the unchecked activities of these men who have become a nightmare to commuters in the FCT. For years, Abuja residents have complained about Agberos terrorizing civilians even right in front of police officers without consequences. The tout often collect illegal levies for personal use, operating as though they had state backing. The Mabushi tragedy has raised intensified calls for accountability. Many are asking, who made Agbero law in Nigeria? Why do security agencies watch helplessly or even collaborate with them? Will President Bola Tinubu intervene, or will the menace be allowed to fester because these thugs are considered political boys? Until clear answers are given, residents fear that the nation's capital will remain at the mercy of street thugs who have grown bigger than the institutions meant to protect the people. Florence Joshua reporting for Clearview News Desk. Still in Abuja, a group of discharged Nigerian soldiers this Thursday resumed protests in Abuja demanding the payment of their entitlements. This is not the first time the group has demonstrated in recent years. Retired soldiers have repeatedly taken to the streets in Abuja and other cities over what they describe as unfair treatment and neglect. Clearview News Desk recalls that the ex-soldiers had earlier called off the protest on August 4 after a meeting with officials of the Ministry of Defense and Finance, who assured them that their outstanding entitlement would be paid by August 10. However, the ex-servicemen who converged on the Ministry of Finance headquarters in the nation's capital accused the authorities of neglect and failure to honor promises made after their meeting last month. One of the protesters said they were forced to return to the street after their previous assurances yielded no result. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Defense headquarters and Military Pension Board have yet to issue an official response as of the time of filing this report. Kebbi State Police Command has arrested a 20-year-old mother, Mariam Atiku, for allegedly attempting to kill her newborn baby girl by burying her alive in Kambadadi local government area of Kebbi State. According to police statement made available to newsmen by the command spokesman CSP Nafiu Abubakar, the incident occurred on June 25, 2025, when Miriam allegedly tied the baby's neck with wrappers and covered her mouth and buried her in a shallow grave at Malam Yaro Bush. The following day, June 26, a farmer, Alhaji Kabiru Muhammad, while walking on his farm near the area, discovered a patch of disturbed soil resembling a fresh grave. He raised an alarm and with the help of nearby residents exhumed the baby, who was found alive. The infant was rushed to General Hospital Kamba, where doctors confirmed her condition as stable after receiving medical attention. The statement said police detectives from the State Criminal Investigation Department promptly arrested Mariam, who confessed to the crime during interrogation. Wonders, they say, shall never end. Please sit down. In another development, Governor Dauda Lawal of Zamfara State has said that he has the capacity to wipe out banditry in the state within 2 months if given direct control of security agencies. The governor, who broke down in tears in a recent viral video while recounting recent attacks in the state, said the major obstacles to ending the crisis was because security operatives in Zamfara State still take instructions from Abuja rather than the state government.
Zamfara has been one of the hardest hit states by banditry in the northwest, with armed groups carrying out mass abductions, killings and attacks on farming communities. Many residents have been displaced from their villages, while farmers have abandoned their farmlands for fear of attack. Governor Lawal, who declared that he could end banditry in Zamfara within 2 months, insisted that with his knowledge of the terrain and the locations of criminal leaders, he could swiftly end the menace if he had the necessary powers. He cited a recent incident in Shinkafi local government where dozens were killed, saying security forces on ground refused to move because they lacked authorization from Abuja. The governor accused political opponents of exploiting the crisis for selfish gain, warning that their actions were damaging the welfare of Zamfara people. Lawal further pointed to the heavy security deployment during the recent by-election in the state as proof that resources exist but are being prioritized for politics rather than the protection of.
I swear to God, I used to shed tears because we know the exact locations of these bandits. We see them whenever they move in Zamfara, but the soldiers can't take orders from us. They must wait for orders from Abuja. If I were the one commanding them, we would have ended banditry in Zamfara within 2 months.
Since assuming office in May 2023, Governor Lawal has repeatedly called for the establishment of state police, echoing President Bola Tinubu's recent endorsement of the idea, a reform long demanded by governors in violence-plagued states. As proponents argue that local police would enable state government to take direct responsibility for their security challenges. Critics, however, express fear of misuse by politicians. Abiola Alafe, reporting for Clever News.
Reactions have continued to trail the 20 million naira allocation by the Katsina state government for the renovation of each local government's graveyards in the state. According to the state governor, Diko Rada, the renovation of 80 cemeteries as part of constituency projects by a member of the House of Representatives Kabiru Mai Palace. Speaking with some Nigerians on the streets of Abuja, Clever News Imefono Kons reports that while others see the initiative as a way of siphoning government's money, others say it is in line with the teaching of Islam and there's a blessing attached to it. The report.
A member of the House of Representatives, Kabiru Mai Palace, representing Kausau Safe Federal Constituency in Zamfara State, sponsored the renovation of 80 cemeteries as part of his constituency project. The lawmaker promised to pay allowances to cemeteries guards and workers and provide them with working tools monthly. In a related development, the Katsina state government earmarked 20 million naira per local government for the upkeep and renovation of cemeteries.
The 20 million allocated for the renovation of cemetery in some local governments in Katsina State. According to the state governor, Rada Diko, the initiative is part of service to the people and also a way of seeking Allah's blessings for the state. Now, let's listen to what people have to say about the project.
In other parts of Nigeria, in different parts of the world, people have different ways of immortalizing their dead ones. In some places, maybe in the southeastern part of Nigeria, for instance, somebody can say he wants to turn his father after 5 years. Spend 5 billion naira on that. Okay? Yeah. Somebody can say they want to do 20 years. They will kill 10 cows. Okay? So, spending 20 million naira to renovate cemetery, unless we know the bill of quantity, how big is the cemetery, what are the things they want to do there? In the Muslim cemetery, you have so many facilities there. There is a provision for where they can wash the corpse. If somebody died, and maybe he died at home and maybe there is nobody, they can take the person to the cemetery, and there are Muslim officials there that like a bathroom where they can wash the person. There is also provision for where people can do ablution if they need to do ablution. They can have a small mosque somewhere nearby. Maybe people went to bury someone and perchance, there is need to do some prayers. So unless we understand what are the things that they want to do with the money, we cannot say whether it is too small or it is too much.
To me, based on my faith, it will not attract any blessing. But you have to consider the faith of people of Katsina State. Okay? Maybe based on their faith, it may attract reward and blessing from God. But me, as a Christian, I don't see any reward in it.
The rate of people that are still alive, that the banditry have been killing every day, the bad roads that have been causing accidents, people have been dying on daily basis. Some people have been kidnapped because of insecurity. Why them they channel the money to save the life that people that are alive, instead of renovating a cemetery? Maybe some of the places that they go, maybe that is the tax that their babalawo give them that they should use.
While some see the cemetery renovation by politicians as another way of stealing the taxpayers' money, a Muslim faithful, Adamu Aliyu, said Islam encourages it.
And again, you see, politicians want to do things like that so as to gain popularity among the people, not necessarily because of any blessing. Okay, so to me, based on my faith, it carries no blessing.
So the mere fact that Islam enjoined us to take care of our parents, our loved ones, while they are alive, and even when they are dead, you still remember them in prayers, in doing charity. You can institute a foundation in their memory. So taking care of where they lie, there is nothing bad in that. I don't think anything bad. Even if you take religion out of it, that whether there is a blessing, of course, whatever good thing that anybody does, there is reward attached to it. It's the same way that whatever evil thing that anybody does, there is punishment attached to it, whether here or in the hereafter.
According to a lawmaker, May Palace, Islam supports the value of keeping cemeteries in good conditions to prevent various disasters and calamities in the society. Imefonu Kon, reporting for Clever News.
The Rivers State Police Command has cautioned women against the practice of collecting transport fare from men for dates and failing to appear, describing the act as a criminal offense that could lead to prosecution. The command's public relations officer, SP Grace, issued the warning in a video that circulated on X on Wednesday.
Why would you collect transport fare from a man without going to see him? It's an offense. A punishable offense is obtaining money under false pretense. 419. I am here to give you this piece of information because I am your #1 bestie. My name is SP Grace Iringekoko, the Police Public Relations Officer for the Rivers State Police Command.
Colombian footballer Javier Bolivar is facing widespread criticism after slapping referee Vanessa Ceballos during a midweek clash between Real Alencia and Deportivo Quique. The incident unfolded in the 66th minute when Bolivar, who was off the pitch, was shown a red card by Ceballos. Before she would fully raise the card, he confronted her and, while turning away, struck her across the face with his right hand. Footage of the altercation quickly went viral, sparking condemnation of Bolivar's action and calls for stern disciplinary action. In response to the backlash, Bolivar posted a lengthy apology on Instagram, describing his behavior as disrespectful and inappropriate. Consequently, Colombian football authorities are expected to announce disciplinary measures soon, with Bolivar's potentially facing a lengthy suspension. And that's the news. You can follow up on latest events and happenings around you via social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Clearview News Desk, or via our handle on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Clearview Online. Many thanks for watching. I am Florence Joshua. Bye for now.